The Valdrus had been wandering the void for 3 standard cycles, when their failing ships finally limped into the Sol system. Their once proud fleet, numbering in the thousands, had dwindled to barely 200 vessels held together by desperation and ingenuity. Behind them lay a trail of rejection from every civilized world they'd encountered. Captain Elena Vasquez watched the alien fleet approach through the viewports of Luna Station, her weathered hands wrapped around a steaming cup of coffee. The readings were troubling, massive energy signatures suggesting ships far larger than anything in Earth's navy, but the power levels were inconsistent, flickering like dying stars. "Ma'am," called Lieutenant Chen from his station, "we're receiving a transmission. It's in 17 different languages, including several dead ones." Elena raised an eyebrow. "Put it through." The holographic display shimmered to life, revealing a being that looked like it had crawled out of humanity's oldest nightmares. 8 feet tall, with chitinous black skin and 4 arms ending in razor-sharp claws, the creature's compound eyes reflected the bridge lights like fractured diamonds. When it spoke, its voice was a harmony of clicks and whistles, translated by the universal communicator into heavily accented standard. "I am Hive Speaker Zakath of the Valdrus Remnant," the alien said, its massive form somehow conveying exhaustion. "We come seeking nor sanctuary. We are the last of our kind cast out by the Galactic Council for crimes we did not commit. We ask only for a place to rest, to tend our wounded and to mourn our dead." Elena studied the creature's face, or what she assumed was its face. Despite its terrifying appearance, something in those compound eyes reminded her of the refugees she'd seen during the resource wars of her youth. The same desperate hope mixed with the expectation of rejection. "This is Captain Elena Vasquez of Earth Defense Command," she replied. "Before we can consider your request, we need to know more about these alleged crimes." The alien's chitinous plates clicked together in what the computer translated as a sigh. "We were accused of harboring the plague of minds, a psychic virus that the Council claims drives entire species to madness. 27 worlds voted for our exile. Only the humans were not present for the vote." Elena's mind raced. She'd heard whispers of the Galactic Council through their few alien contacts, but Earth had never been invited to join. They were still considered a primitive species, barely worthy of acknowledgement. "And did you harbor this plague?" "We are immune to psychic interference," Zakath explained. "Our minds work differently. When the plague spread through the outer rim, we offered sanctuary to the affected species, trying to find a cure. The Council saw our immunity as proof of our guilt." Elena looked around her bridge crew. Young faces, most of them, but she could see the same thought in their eyes that was forming in her own mind. Earth had always been the underdog, the species that didn't belong. Maybe that's exactly why they understood. "Lieutenant Chen, get me a line to Earth Command. Priority Alpha." The next 6 hours were a whirlwind of meetings, arguments, and debates that stretched from the highest levels of government down to local community leaders. The world watched as the alien fleet held position just beyond Pluto's orbit, their ships dark and silent, except for the minimal life support systems keeping millions of refugees alive. Dr. Sarah Kim, Earth's leading xenobiologist, delivered the report that changed everything. "Captain, I've analyzed their biological data. The Valdrus are telling the truth about their immunity. Their neural structure is completely different from any psychic species we've encountered. If anything, they might be the key to developing a cure for this plague." Elena stood in the emergency session of the United Earth Council, her voice carrying across the chamber. "Members of the Council, we have an opportunity here, not just to save lives, but to show the galaxy who we really are. Every species out there has rejected these people based on fear and politics. We can choose to be different." The debate was fierce. Some argued that Earth couldn't afford to antagonize the Galactic Council. Others worried about the resources needed to support millions of refugees. But in the end, it was Secretary General Amara Okafor who cast the deciding vote. "Earth has always been a sanctuary for those who had nowhere else to go," she said. "We will not abandon that principle now, especially when we have the chance to extend it to the stars." 3 days later, Elena found herself aboard the Valdrus flagship, walking through corridors designed for beings twice her height. The ship hummed with activity as human engineering teams worked alongside Valdrus technicians, sharing knowledge and solutions that neither species could have achieved alone. Zakath approached her in what served as the ship's council chamber, moving with a grace that belied its intimidating appearance. "Captain Vasquez, our scholars have been studying your species' history. We understand now why you alone chose to help us." "Oh? Humans are the galaxy's outcasts too," the alien said simply. "You understand what it means to be judged before you are known, to be feared for what others think you might become rather than what you are." Elena nodded slowly. "The galaxy cast you out because you were different. They've done the same to us, but maybe being different isn't something to be ashamed of." "Perhaps," Zakath clicked thoughtfully, "the outcast can build something better than what cast them out." As Elena looked out through the transparent aluminum viewports at the combined fleet, human ships working in perfect harmony with Valdrus vessels, she couldn't help but smile. The galaxy had tried to make these people disappear, but humanity had other plans. Sometimes the best families weren't the ones you were born into, but the ones you chose to create. And sometimes, being cast out was just the first step toward finding where you really belonged. The stars had never looked brighter.